Whakalahiatu, good evening. Welcome to our final bulletin of BCN News for 2019. Leading our news today, an infant suspected to be Niue's first case of measles remains in an isolation unit at the Niue Full Hospital since Tuesday this week. In response to this suspected case, the Niue Health Department has initiated their response to measles protocols. The hospital said that they are expecting to find out next week if this infant is confirmed as being infected with measles. The Niue Full Hospital has initiated their response plans for measles and are warning pregnant women and children under 12 months not to visit the hospital at this time. The members of the public are also asked to limit their time when seeking medical attention at the hospital. They continue to encourage those on the island who have not received their measles booster shots to please do so now. The Niue Health Department are also asking those who will be expecting visiting families and friends over the festive season to ensure that their families are immunized at least 2 weeks before they arrive to Niue. Meanwhile, the Immigration Department has confirmed that they are working with the Niue Health Department on measures at the border to ensure that incoming passengers meet the requirements set by the Health Department's response plans and protocols for measles. And public servants can expect an increase to their usual fortnightly salaries next week. These salary increases were promised by Premier Sir Toke Talangi in October of this year. The Public Service Commission has confirmed to BCN News that the salary increases for the public servants was approved by Cabinet to be effective from the 12th of December. The changes will mean all public servants will receive a $30 per fortnight increase, while the teachers and nurses will receive an additional $5, taking their fortnightly increases to $35. The increases will mean an annual increase of $910 for teachers and nurses. All other public servants will receive $780 total annual increase. Some opposition members questioned the legitimacy of this sitting of the whānau, given that the whānau Ekepule had already closed. Some opposition members, like the Honourable Olaf Jacobson and Honourable Terry Coe, questioned the legitimacy of the sitting of the whānau, given that the whānau Ekepule had already been closed. The order paper, which was made public this morning, shows the reason for the meeting is to table, through a certificate of urgency, the presentation of a civil list amendment bill, which is intended to formalise the salary increases of the members of Parliament, an increase of $30, to coincide with the increases of the rest of the public service. Some members of Parliament expressed concern at the timing of this bill and concern over the public perception of recalling Parliament to formalise their own salary increases. However, the majority of the members supported the bill. The bill was passed just after midday today and will ensure the members of Parliament will receive their $30 increase in their salaries at the next pay. And Air New Zealand has confirmed that 4 flights will be cancelled in February and March next year in response to BCN's request for information. Yesterday, Midday News first reported concerns raised by some of the local families and travellers whose holiday plans will be impacted by these changes. According to Air New Zealand's statement, due to operational reasons, Air New Zealand has made changes to its scheduling, which has resulted in the cancellation of 1 Auckland to Niue service in February and 3 Auckland to Niue services in March of 2020. On average, there are 15 customers per flight affected by this change. All customers booked on these flights will be accommodated on other services. Yesterday, BCN reported concerns by some of the passengers travelling to and from Niue early in the new year, whose flight plans will be disrupted due to these Air New Zealand cancellations. BCN News spoke to one family whose flights to Niue will be affected. She said that these cancellations will affect their children who will miss the start of the school term in February. And if they were to return on an earlier flight, they will have to forfeit non-refundable hotel bookings in Auckland. BCN News is still waiting on the government and the Director of Tourism to respond to the questions as to the terms of the Air Services Agreement between Niue and Air New Zealand. The Public Service Commission has confirmed that they are currently in the process of recruiting more teachers to replace the 4 teachers who retired from Niue High School at the end of last term.
The Public Service Commission told BCN News that the recruitment process is currently in its interviewing stages, and they hope to have all vacant teaching positions filled by the start of the new school term next year. They said there are only 2 teachers left to secure. They have also confirmed that there are 3 student teachers currently in training overseas who are expected to graduate after 4 years of training. This is Georgia Tuhipa for BCN News.
And to end our bulletin for tonight, originally planned to be held at the Niue Primary School grounds, the Kolimaya Christmas concert had some last-minute changes last night due to the weather. The concert was moved to the multi-purpose hall. Here's our student reporter, Kaira Poihanga, with more on that story.
Many families and friends gathered together last night at Baliasi Niue High School Hall as they were entertained by performances of Kolimaya Dance Group. After the venue being changed from Niue Primary School as originally planned due to a change of weather, the show still played out successfully. There were also a few numbers performed by other artists, including those who travelled from overseas for this special event. BCN News was able to get a comment from the leader of the Kolimaya dance group, Sina Hemana Hekau, who is grateful for singers and musicians for their support to Kolimaya. Sina said that her dance group did really well despite last-minute changes due to weather and the added pressure of setting up. Kara Bohanga, BCN News.
And that's it for BCN for 2019 in our English version of our BCN News. This is our final bulletin. We wish you a very Merry Christmas, a safe and prosperous New Year. Good night.